In Alabama, she was swinging a hammer. Price you gotta pay when you break the panorama.
Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. I'm your host, Jason. With me is Bill.
Hi.
Our special guest, Hannah.
Hey.
Our other special guest, Ed.
What's up?
He's down there now. He moved on me. And there's Tim.
Hi.
And we're talking the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're a playlist link channel. Sort us by a playlist, and you can watch all of our videos in a row and watch as we get drunker and drunker. But we kind of had a reset because we're on week 2 because there's so goddamn many of them. But we're talking a big one now. We're talking Stadium Arcadium. And I put the Venus disc, its bonuses are all just B-sides, so do not take that in count for your rankings. But all right. I guess I'll go first. I'm going to keep it short, and I'll just jump in when I have to say something I disagree with you guys on. But that's by the way. That's trash. All right. Stadium Arcadium.
Ooh.
Donny, California. Great. It's overplayed, but I'll vibe with it. I like it. Snow, top song contender. Charlie, great. Stadium Arcadium, beautiful. Hump to Bump, funky. She's only 18. Boring. And are you sure she was 18? Slow Cheetah, pass. Torture Me, great. Love the guitar tones. Strip My Mind, pass. Especially in Michigan, decent. Warlocks, great. Come On Girl, decent. Wet Sand, nothing original. I could leave it. Hey, not a good closing track. Repeats parts of Snow, pass. Desecration Smile, not a good second half opening track. See Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness on how to do a proper double album. Tell Me Baby, great. Love the variation from the verses to the chorus. Hard to Concentrate, top song contender. Love the vocal melody. 21st Century, we talking about Creatures on the Beaches again. I'm wearing my Save the Sea Turtles t-shirt to protect those marine creatures. She looks good, or she looks to me decent, ready-made. I love it, but to go with Bill's thing of there's only one ready-made, and it came out in 1996. If, pass. Make You Feel Better, another top song contender. Great lyrics, which isn't something you say a lot of when you're talking about the Chili Peppers. Animal Bar, sounds like 2006. Pass. So Much I, Take It or Leave It. Storm in a Teacup is great. Would have made a better opening track to a second disc. We Believe, meh. Turn It Again, a little long, but I don't mind it. And Death of a Martian, I like it. Second best well, it's up there with Yertle the Turtle and Johnny. It's one of their better closers.
Third best.
It's one of
maybe
their better closers.
Fourth if we throw in their Red Hot.
Right, yeah. Those are my notes,
So
though.
I tried to listen for some kind of dolphin reference in this album. Did y'all hear any? Because she got me thinking about dolphins now. And I'm just like, wait, did you talk about a dolphin? Where is a dolphin? Like, there has to be a dolphin.
There's some references to marine animals in this one.
Yeah, 21st Century has some references to marine creatures.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Not really
it's
sure,
there.
but it's meant to be.
It's there.
All right. And I listened to the B-sides, and it's like, it's more of the same. Like, there's really good stuff. There's not some, just like, but like Mercy Mercy's fucking great. Yeah, I mean, I remember Stadium Arcadium. I was back on the Chili Peppers train. I missed By the Way, but when this one came out, it reminds me of, like, me in Greece. My mom got a beach condo down in Gulf Shores, and Greece went with us, and we would just like get drunk on the beach listening to Stadium Arcadium, so it fits that vibe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Who's going next? Can I go?
Go for it.
Go for it.
We'll go for that. All right, cool. So Rick Rubin produced this one too. Is that right? Yeah.
He's produced every single one since Blood Sugar Sex Magic so far.
Yeah.
Except for one at the end. But yeah, he's...
Oh, yeah.
But so far.
Yeah.
So far,
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the biography of Anthony, like this is when John and him were starting to have problems again. Is because after this album is whenever he quits again. It wasn't this time. It wasn't because of drugs. I think my understanding is
It
he
was
got
because he
he
was
can
bored, right? He was tired of just being like rock star.
yeah, and he wanted to do something with like electronic music. I think, and also he got into the occult. That's why you see the names of these albums be like about planets and all that. He got a lot into that vibe of beliefs. So Danny California, I heard Kiedis say in an interview that he had created this character during Californication, and he didn't know it until he started writing the song, and he saw the connection of the character, because I think there's also he mentions Danny and by the way or in a song I believe. So he saw her kind of hopping into this
Wasn't
album.
it Venice Queen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like that connection that he has with that character, and he wanted to continue on with his album. All right, so Snow, I was gonna like, man. Okay, so Yesterday by the Beatles is like one of my top favorite songs just to listen. Like the live recording that Paul did is just top for me. This is up there with it. Like Snow to me is such a good song. Like the guitar riff, which I have tried to do and failed
Yeah, it's a tough
miserably.
one.
It cramped my hand. Like I don't know how he does it. And people like do it on the
It's
YouTube.
all just hammer-ons, right?
The chords are weird, man. I'm just gonna leave it up to
Right, but
y'all's public.
he's just alternating strings with a hammer-on and a weird chord. So if you practice it, you'll get it.
Yeah, but he has that Hendrix thumb, and
That's
he
true too.
uses it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's hard to do. If you're not used.
yeah.
I'm gonna. There are great videos online that will teach. It's just
Don't
really
you
hard.
just like reverse that with the bar chord though?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't tried like that. Last time I tried, I gave up. I was like, nah, can't do this right now. It's too much. But Snow is a top song, like Jason said, hands down. It's one of the top in their whole discography. I think it's just a fantastic song. Now, the words, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a deep meaning with them. But I know the hey ho part. Like they wanted to keep that because they thought it was funny. But other than that, I don't know much about the lyrics for this. But it's a great song. Charlie,
That one's not about the lyrics. That one's just musically. It's such a beautiful piece of music.
it really is. It's just fantastic work from John. I mean, that's I'll give that credit to John. John made that song. I think it's just, and you can hear online too him talking about it. Charlie, another fun one, man. You don't need to think about life in every song. Charlie is like that's an example of that. I think. Sadie McCann, hump the funk, right? The video was like okay, so it shocked me that that they did the video the way they did. It was fun. I think they had like a high school and like people were like it looked like a parade, and they were like in the neighborhood. A lot of there's a lot of
It was supposed to be
dancing
like
going on.
a street party, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I think Chris Rock
it's
is in
supposed to be
it,
fun.
which is great. And
Yeah.
again, another fun one. That's their fun tune for this one. She's only 18. Fast forward here a little bit. Come on, girl. Wet Sand. I didn't. Okay, so this album is one of those that I had my favorites, but then I get bored of my favorites, and I'm like, what else they got? And then like I played like 4 or 5 more songs. Like, oh, that's really good. Wet Sand is one of those songs that I found after one of the times when I was like, man, I'm bored of these singles. Like, what else do they have? That's a good song, man. And Hey, I like Hey. Desecration Smile. That is a weird way of opening up a second disc. It's not. I mean, it's not a very eventful. It's a good song, but is that not an opener? I don't know why they decided to do that. I would have put "Tell Me Baby" first above that. Like "Tell Me Baby" would have been a better opener, I think, for that album. But again, it's another fun one. What do we got here? If I really enjoy If. This second album to me is not doesn't have as many hitters as the first one.
Ooh,
Um,
I don't know about that.
Death of a Martian is good, but other than
Bangers
that,
on that second one though are such bangers.
and this one, the second one, I don't know. I like Jupiter. That's my favorite one out of these whole crew. And Mars has some good ones. I mean, but I really like Tell Me Baby and If, but this one I'm kind of conflicted in because the singles were really good, but the boring songs were really boring. So it's just there's no middle ground with this one. Either you're really gonna like the song, or you're just not gonna like it. I think, at least in my opinion. So I don't know. That's what I got to say about it.
To me, this feels like the follow up to Californication. Like this is it has the good stuff on Californication, just more of it, and it has the bad stuff, just more of it.
And Flea showed up.
Flea showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not done with his biography, so I don't know what maybe he was going through something. I don't know. I haven't gotten to this.
I think it was a divorce around that time or some financial things. But yeah, he was definitely distracted during By the Way. And I think that, I mean, I'll go next. Like, these are obviously very inspired sessions. There's a lot of really good stuff here. But at this point now, if we look back on the last 5 releases, the Chili Peppers have developed a pattern of good album, bad album, good album, bad album. So it stands to believe that this would be a good album. And it is. But it also suffers in the tracks. It's good song, bad song, good song, bad song. And I mean, we submitted our 14 picks. And like Wet Sand is one of my favorites. That song is really good, especially that whole second half when it finally resolves. It's really good. And She's Only 18. Like, that chorus is huge. And I love the way it just kind of just enters. Like, there's no intro. Just all of a sudden, you're just in it, and they're grooving. And there's like Warlocks is super funky, and Ready Made is like, what a great riff. And then when they start throwing that offbeat snare in there, I'm just like, yes, this is what it's at. And then like super deep cuts, like Animal Bar is one of my favorite songs of this album. Storm in a Teacup, amazing stuff. One thing they did with this album, like Jason, I got off the train with By the Way, but this one got me back on. I was probably a first week buyer on this one. I don't know if I bought it the first day, but it was pretty close. And I lived this album pretty hard there for a little while. And there's a lot of really interesting stuff throughout the whole album. Almost every song has like really good parts, and then a part that's like, it almost takes away from it. But one thing they did with this album that I think is really interesting, and it's on the production side, is they mixed the whole thing. And then they gave it to John to remix. And there's all kinds of cool little effects in the stereo field. Whether it's adding like weird space vocals on random words in the vocals, or doubling the guitars, or the panning of random stuff. There's this is a headphone album, and there's all kinds 100%. Of really cool, interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jason has my top 14. At this point, I find myself like really liking when they get funky and or really rocking. The mid-tempo stuff just doesn't work for me anymore. And I know that's what's popular for them, so they tend to kind of live in that space.
Yeah, I don't think they do the mid-tempo stuff very well, though.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah,
and it gets really boring. And so, if you could knock, again, inspired sessions and being really into it, I have the Danny California single, and I have the Hump to Bump single. So I actually own some of those Venus tracks. I was really into it. And there's a lot of good stuff throughout this entire session. And yeah, Flea's back. Everybody, Frusciante is on fire here. But that being said, like Danny California is Mary Jane's Last Dance, and the guitar solo is Purple Haze, and it gets a little generic at times. But the great songs, like My 14, I would put above like Californication, arguing up against Blood Sugar. I think the great stuff here is some of the best they ever did. But the bad stuff here is among the worst as well. It's an album of extremes.
So far.
I think there was a clip on YouTube where John was showing off his equipment, and he busted into a Moog or a Moog, however you say it.
Yeah,
and
Moog.
Moog, and he had but it was like a whole wall, and he was he said he was he'd plug in, and I've seen the small ones, I've never seen anything like that before. I was like, what is that?
No, and it's safe to say at this point in this career, in this discography, and I would imagine going forward in time beyond 2024, Frusciante is the shining light of this discography.
Yeah.
Even Jason said it on By the Way. Yeah, that's the worst Frusciante album. And what's the best part of the album? Frusciante.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the mix here. There's a lot of really good songs on here, and I don't even remember what my 14 was at the moment.
We'll get to those.
But yeah, great. There's definitely a really good album in here. There's just a lot of fat.
So this album was it was like my first introduction to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had heard a couple of their songs on the radio before, growing up, but this album was the one that I had fully listened to first. My mom bought it. We listened to it. So this was I don't know. This was the one that I remember the most. This is what got me interested in them as a band and got me to say yeah, I like them. Danny California it's the Peppers. It's
Mary Jane's Last Dance by Tom Petty.
I love it though. There's so much nostalgia
Which is a great
in it
song.
for me. And I love this song as a teenager. I still love it. I was literally last night at work, I was singing the song in my head. I don't know, it works for me.
There is one thing I did forget to mention about that song specifically. I do like how they slow the chorus down, BPM wise. They do pull it back. It adds a nice little tension.
So it's got the beat, and then it just goes into California, rest in peace, all
It's
slow.
fun as shit to play on Rock Band.
Love it. Anyway, Snow is one of those ones. It's another huge nostalgia. I played it on the radio. I heard it all the time growing up. But the guitar in that is just... I know you guys have already talked about it a lot. It's a great song. It's an excellent song. It's fantastic.
You can talk about it as much as you like, because I love that song. I like to hear people talk about it.
It is nostalgia. It is fun. It is interesting. It's a sing-alongable song. You hear it and you sing along with it, right? Every time. And just the first few notes of it, you immediately know the song. Everybody knows the song. You know what I mean? And I think the lyrics in it are thoughtful and more self-reflective. And I don't know. I just liked I liked it. I liked all the parts of it. I really enjoyed Charlie. I thought it was the right tempo, the right vibe. It was good. Stadium Arcadium, another nostalgia, I love this one. I feel like Anthony Kiedis finally learned how to write lyrics good. I feel like he was struggling this whole time. Almost there, not quite. And this really cemented it for me that he finally knows what he's doing. And maybe it's sobriety. Hump to Bump.
Or maybe it's the lack thereof.
True. I think he was more sober at this point in time, though. Hump to Bump is fun. It's fun. It's a party song. It's it plays at like high school dances. You play it like at a party, you know, like it's like a frat house party song. I don't know how to explain it, but I love it. It's fun. She's only 18. The title alone is a red flag. I liked the bass line, but you know, songs about little girls while they're the age that they are, it's a little wild.
Oh, it's
well, and to be fair, that song is about the woman that gave Anthony his first children.
Yeah, but like,
and yes, it's
That's the baby mama.
questionable.
She's
And
young,
and did
and
he
they
leave
are
her
at
for a
this-
younger girl? Yes.
Yeah,
there is no secret about Anthony liking his girls young. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
And
at
does
this
he wear a
point in
Hitler
time-
mustache?
very
they're
well
like, they're
documented.
pushing 40 here, right? Like at this point in time, so it's just like you're a little too old for that. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. I felt like Slow Cheetah was kind of a generic slow song. I did like it, but it wasn't great. Torture Me, the bass really got my attention. It was kind of chaotic. I liked it. I liked that, but for me it was too slow. If they had sped it up, it probably would have been a way better song. Let's see. Strip My Mind, slow, repetitive, especially in Michigan, kind of And then it gets to Warlocks, and I'm like, finally, we get some energy again, just when I was starting to almost get bored. I did really like Warlocks. Come On Girl, good bass, higher energy. You know, they're finally starting to write songs about women that are not super vulgar. and like, you know, they have a little more respect for women at this point, I think. I don't know. I liked it. I liked Wet Sand. I liked Hay. For the second disc, I really liked Desecration Smile. It didn't really sound like them. It sounded like something. It's like a different band. It wasn't their sound, but I still really liked it. Tell Me Baby, I felt like that was a throwback to like the original stuff. It was fun. It had a lot of energy. And I like their energetic songs.
That one reminded me also. Sorry, I forgot to mention about like a casting couch. You know, you always hear about those casting couches in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's what that song's about. I think it's like, you know, when you read the lyrics, you're like, wait a second, what's going on
It
here?
felt like a throwback to like the 80s. You know, I liked it.
Yeah.
Hard to Concentrate
Questionable
was
lyrics,
all right. Yeah. 21st Century, I wrote video game bass line because that's what it made me think of. It's like, I don't know. I love the bass in it. But the sea creatures referenced again.
Lord.
Yeah, She Looks to Me, it was all right. Ready Made. The bass in Ready Made is what I love about them. You know, Flea is really like in the forefront of that one. But I did feel like this was a made for radio sound. So I like ready made for radio. If was all right. Make You Feel Better was all right. Animal Bar. There was another little mention to marine animals in that one again.
Think of
Leave
the
the
dolphins.
Yeah. Yep. I did like the guitar distortion in this one. It was interesting. And then it goes to So Much I. Oh. And like Storm in a Teacup. Those
check.
two. Yeah. There we go. Those two and Storm and Teacup, they kind of like brought it back to the energy. Just like when I was starting to get bored with the album, they brought back the energy. And I really liked Storm and a Teacup. I liked if you listen to it with headphones, it splits the sounds and it goes back and forth. And I really like
that's that John shit that he did after
Yeah.
the mix. Yeah.
And I really like that. That for me, like, it's interesting.
And there's a really crazy effect on the background vocals in Animal Bar that just gets me every time.
Some of those, I like those little like neat effects, and I thought that Storm in a Teacup, it's like really there. Yeah, and that song was a really good one for me. I don't know. I really like that one. I kind of got bored after that with We Believe and Turn It Again. Those kind of, I don't know, weren't quite what I wanted. I did like Death of a Martian a lot, though. It was just kind of like a Space Cadet song, which I guess in the title that kind of gives it away. I don't know. It's kind
Well, and Martian was Flea's dog, and they
was
talk
it?
about
Okay.
Clara, who's Flea's daughter. Like, that was
I
the
really
family
liked
dog.
it. I thought it was a good ending. I really did like it. I didn't feel like this album needed to be 2 discs. They could have cut out a lot of those, like, the boring songs. It just didn't really do it for me. They could have cut those out and probably just made one instead of it being like a double album, you know? That was my thing. Because, like, when the songs are not great, they're boring.
I wonder if they made it a double album because of something contractual.
No,
'Cause
most labels
No.
hate double
They
albums.
couldn't. They cut an album off of these sessions, and
Yeah, they actually
every
had a
song
lot
that
of
made
stuff
the
they didn't
album
use.
is somebody fought for.
Huh. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
they had a lot of content for this that they didn't use. And then, yeah, I know it doesn't go into my rankings, but I did listen to all the third one and all the B-sides and whatever, and I actually, maybe this is a hot take, but I liked them better, and I think they should have made it onto the real album instead. And like,
Oh, a lot of them should, yeah.
yeah,
You
there
know,
should
it's
have
an
been some
interesting
trade-offs there.
conversation, right? When you're presented with all 30 or whatever you got here, but you can only have 20. Like, which ones do you drop? And yeah, that's a conversation with band and management. That
Yeah,
you know, when you see what ends up and where they pick, it's like, oh, why did they not like this?
exactly. And I felt like on the B-sides there was some experimental stuff going on, and I can see why they might have cut it, because the experimental stuff was more like surfer rock vibes, and I noticed there was a lot of that like surfer rock kind of stuff going on in the B-sides that wasn't really present in the other two, and I think that was one of maybe the things that they used to decide which songs to cut.
Possible, yeah.
There was
It's
definitely
interesting.
that theme on that third one that was separate from the other two.
Like seeing the 2 track lists side by side, you know, but everyone who's spoken has talked about Warlocks kicking ass, and it kind of And everyone's talked about Storm and a Teacup kicking ass, and it's, they're both track 11. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, no, their
a very
patterns
similar
very
flow.
similar. Like,
Where you
I
have like
mean-
a couple boring songs, and then you have like a song that like picks it back up and like gets your attention again.
yeah, both tracks. I skipped straight to track 3.
Oh, I don't skip.
I listen straight
I'll
through.
listen. I mean, you listen to Stadium Car. It's got to start with. You know, it's
I'm just
got
saying,
to.
you know, when you get to the point where you're skipping tracks, I skip the first couple. Maybe I'll listen to "Tell Me, Baby" because that verse bass is awesome, but then the chorus is a little disco. So
Yeah.
All right, Bill. What you think of Stadium Arcadium?
So this one I listened to the whole way through Jupiter, Mars, and actually I even got to Venus. I'm listening through. I'll say for me, my highlights across everything here. I actually didn't submit to Jason my top 14 for making my own album just because.
Oh, I filled it out for you.
Oh, perfect. I hope you got it straight Venus and then like, God, something's like "Come On Girl" and "We Believe" or some other crap like
We'll get
that.
to that.
I expect nothing
hey,
less.
come on, girl, it's great.
Something has to go there. I mean, from Venus, I'm putting "Permutation" on it, which I'd argue is a phenomenal song.
Oh,
Could be
it
a
was one of my
minority.
favorites.
Um,
And I always like "Wherever We Want," but you know,
actually, that's also a good one. Then the other one, I thought "Mercy Mercy" was actually kind of a fun one on that B side too.
yeah.
I mean, let's say that Venus honestly is pretty solid. Like for being B sides, that's a good B side.
It's an
They were
inspired session.
good. There was really
Inspired
only like
session.
one
They had a
song
lot
on
of
there
good
that I
stuff
didn't
here.
care for.
I mean, I will say of these 3, Mars might be the one I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, there's stuff I like on it. Don't get me wrong. 21st Century, Animal Bar. Honestly, those are my 2 favorite ones probably off of Mars.
Okay.
Maybe Desecration Smile, but even that one starts to kind of fall off for me. Jupiter, honestly, those first 5 tracks, really goddamn.
Bangers. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you're starting off with 2 singles, so right there, you're already technically going to my wheelhouse because there's a formula to making a radio single. We all know it, but if you don't know it, you trust me. You're able, especially when I've listened to more and more discographies, you pick up what the singles are without even needing to know what the single list was. Even if it's a band I've never heard of, it's like, oh, hey, was this their single? Oh, yep, sure as shit, it was one of the singles released.
Yeah, and that's one of the Pepper's force for, man. They know how to make that ear candy. Like I mean, whether you like the radio stuff or not, know the words of those songs and you know the hooks. Like they're really good at crafting ear candy.
Well, honestly, I would say they hit it out of the park sometimes, but some of their other singles it's like I
kind
don't
of fall
want
flat.
to listen to this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, complete with
Zephyr Song. I had no. It was totally forgettable to me.
Yep.
Rain Dance Maggie. Not that we've gotten there already, but
that's another one. But we'll get there.
It falls. Some of them fall flat. Same Arcadium singles, actually, I feel like they do very well.
They do really well.
I don't know. None of you guys specifically liked it. I know on Jupiter Hey, I was a fan of that on the closing for that first side. I mean, yeah, it's harkening back to some of those parts in Snow, I believe. But it's I don't know. I thought it was a nice closer. It's no Yertle the Turtle, but it's a good closer. So yeah, Stadium Arcadium, honestly, it's a good. Tim mentioned there's a lot here though. I mean, you've got some really big highs, and you got some. Why the hell is this song here?
Right. So like they could have just done like one album with like 16 tracks.
It would have been the best thing they did.
But here's the thing: how would they have picked the 16 though? Would it have been the 16 bad ones?
Then it would have been by the way.
That's why we all picked 14, so we could see which ones were like the absolute bangers and which ones were,
You guys keep saying
fought for, and
you guys keep saying, "Oh, there's a lot of filler. It could have been one album." How many people struggled to like keep it down to 14 though?
So I did. I had 18 songs that I wanted on it.
Say if we were including Venus, I would struggle in narrowing it down to 14.
I did include the B-sides, and I had 18. If it was just the first 2, I could have done like 10 to 12.
See, I didn't even use Venus either because I didn't think it would be fair for me, but I had way more than 14. I had to narrow it down hard. There's more good on Stadium Arcadium than there is bad for me.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think I submitted 19.
You did.
And it's also like really, really, really creative work and like making sure that everything fits in good. Oh, you have them by name. Oh, cool.
Look at you got them all.
So
right
I'll quickly run through mine. I kept Donnie and Snow. To me, that is when I want to listen to Stadium, I want to hear those 2 songs right off the bat. Warlock's a banger. Hump to Bump, fucking great. Come On Girl, Charlie's fucking great. Make You Feel Better, so good. Then you pick back up on the B side. Storm in a Teacup, Ready Made, Tell Me Baby, Torture Me. I mean, I swapped the closer. I think the song Stadium Arcadium is a really beautiful way. It would have been a great way to close the record. So that's my list.
I'm going to follow up here. That list, let me tell you, I'd listen to that track list on that album. That's a damn decent album.
Is it?
Hell yeah, you're ending with Yertle the Turtle right there. You're golden.
What about that opening track though? I don't remember you liking that opening track too much. But hey,
remember. I mean,
there was a great version of Yertle the Turtle way back on the Around the World single with John on guitar.
Oh, nice.
It's that BBC session, I think. Yeah, it's great.
I'll say that, Bill. Your 14 is better than my 14, but I'd rather listen to your
Hey,
14.
I mean, there's some. That 14. Like half of those are top song potential contenders on there.
Okay.
So, what songs made everybody's list?
We all have. No, Hannah doesn't have
No.
Warlocks.
I do. It's number 8.
Oh, you do.
Yep.
Bill does, or
Warlocks.
Ed
Okay.
doesn't.
Everyone has Death of a Martian.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
Great
good one.
song, yeah.
Hard to concentrate. Hard to
Who
concentrate.
doesn't
I
have
don't
snow?
have that one.
Who doesn't have snow?
Tim doesn't.
I don't
have
have
snow.
snow.
He cut Donnie
you wouldn't
and
have kept
Snow.
It's on the border for me.
Tim
That's
doesn't.
that's
okay.
what I can
Oh,
lose.
those are like must-haves.
Tim doesn't have Stadium Arcadium. Everyone else has that one too.
That's one of my least favorites on the album.
Man, it's such a
It
good
would have
song.
been. It would have been a good closer, like Jason said, though. Like it's just one of
It
those.
would have
like,
been a good closer. I do
like
agree
it's
with that.
done.
But it
you
is
know,
one of
it's
my least
over.
favorites on the album.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed's not.
Charlie
helping
is a
me
fantastic
on
dude.
that
I don't
song.
think Charlie gets enough love. Charlie's a great.
Charlie is
song.
great. I love
I
Charlie.
love
That's a great song.
flow,
Yeah.
the musicianship behind it is so good.
I love
Ed's-
the offbeat, angular riff that opens with it, and they're just doubling it. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, dude.
Ed's number 11
Okay.
is actually a B-side because his closer was Death of a Martian, and he said 10 was enough, but if he had to pick one more, he'd put Desecration Smile. So
I thought that would be a good closer. And that's not to say that the rest of the songs are not good. I mean, I listen to more of them. It's just those are the ones that I go back to repeatedly. You know, and those are the ones that I really enjoy from these albums. So.
Everyone has Wet Sand except for Jason.
Wait, who has Yertle the Turtle? Bill?
Damn right, I got Yertle the Turtle, baby.
Bill didn't
Who
give me a
doesn't
list.
have Yertle the Turtle?
He didn't give me
Yeah,
his list, so I just filled it in with Mother's Milk, and then he had an extra spot, so I put Yertle the Turtle. So
That's what happens when you don't do the homework.
that's right.
Yep.
You get some of that Mother's Milk. All right. It's my turn to guess. This one's gonna be rough.
This
Yeah,
one's
it
going to
is.
be tough, isn't it?
Terrible.
I'll give you a hint for mine, though.
Well, yeah. Give me a hint. Let's see. I think you're gonna
Okay.
have it
Well, is
better
I
than
don't know how to-
these.
yeah. I would stop right there.
You're like, by the way, more.
But hey, now to be fair though, it's actually put it above. By the way, no, you're right. I listen to this album a lot, tracks from this album, a lot more than I do. By the way, so it's just got so much more of different things that is just so good.
Yeah. It's a fun album.
Number 5, Bill.
Higher.
Let's just go ahead and pull these two down. Number 3.
Higher.
Number 2.
Right there.
Gee, Hannah. Definitely better than those 4. And that one.
Nope.
Did I go too high?
Oh.
I'd put it, Blood Sugar Sex Magic above it.
Ooh, okay.
It was a really hard decision for me to make, but yeah. Between the two of them, I like them both a lot.
Yeah, see, that's my deal too. Like, by the way, in this one, I think they're like. Sometimes I get the tracks confused where they came from, like because I like them just kind of like.
All
in
you
that
gotta do is
same-
listen. If there's bass on it, it's on Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
basically.
This is the conundrum, though. Does he like it more than Californication?
That's where I've been at. Going back and forth.
I think he does. I think he does like them more than Californication.
Okay. I asked an audience member. Better than Californication. The Price is Right. That's what they're yelling behind me.
I'm taking the under.
So I'll go with that. I'll agree with that. Because I will say that as an album, I think Californication is better just because it loses the fat.
Yeah.
But the better songs on Stadium are better than the songs on Californication.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my final note said.
The best songs on Stadium are the best songs they have overall of any album.
There's a lot of top song contenders for sure. Yeah.
My final notes say, while I do think there's a lot of filler on Stadium, the great stuff far outweighs the bad. I think it's in a weird spot where there's too much good stuff for one album but not enough for a double album. But just for sheer volume-wise, overall there is more I like and less I hate than Californication. So it beats Californication for me as well.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that boat as well.
Like there's a lot.
Man, you guys
of
are
good
wrong
stuff.
for that. Like seriously, California, y'all pushing back Californication hurts my feelings. That album is a freaking classic. You guys
It's
should be
the
ashamed of
first side.
Ashamed as a shame.
I ain't listening to you. You got By the Way above Mother's Milk, so
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can agree with
who's
you.
the wrong one
Californication
here?
is a great
So,
album.
yeah, who's the wrong one here?
Hey,
California.
you got to admit also the production is better though. Like it just is because they're
yeah,
Well,
but
that
the
is-
they're in a
songs are
different
better.
world
That's
than they were at the
questionable.
beginning of that time.
Better production on Garbage Songs does not make it a better album.
I like the drum tone better on Mother's Milk.
That is raw. Yeah, you're right. No, you're
I
right
like
about
Kiedis's
that. But still,
vocals better.
the
I
drums-
think
I like
Kiedis's
the bass
vocals
tone
are-
better.
Well, Chad had more freedom, I think, in that album. You could tell.
Well,
like-
and I think it's before Chad developed his pattern of what works for everything
the
John
radio. Yeah.
Lee
Works for
or
Frusciante,
Anthony will
yeah.
throw at him.
Yeah. But all I'm saying, dude, Californication is a classic. I don't care what you guys say.
Yeah, the first
Game.
the A side is great. The B side is like the
I
B
mean, look
from
at that. Are
the
you guys
B
watching
side
the same thing I am?
from the B
Number
side
4,
of Californication.
Number 6, number 5. I mean, Hannah got it right. That's good. But that, dude, I mean, y'all are wrong for that. I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
Yeah,
Californication
she also said 1 Hot Minute's better than it.
as a
though.
full album,
Yeah,
Californication
I-
is just like Stadium
I'm-
Arcadium.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
mean,
a lot of filler on it. A lot of
we,
filler.
we all got the right idea here.
Yeah,
No,
I
Bill,
just-
we don't. We
yeah.
don't have the right idea, Bill.
Right
Because
where
there are
it
people
needs
that are
to be.
pushing the album way too far back.
Californication, it's got to go somewhere.
Hey, we still got 4 more to go. It could fall even further.
Yeah,
Damn right it can.
it won't. For some of us.
Damn right it can fall further.
I think I need to call a mulligan.
Hey, I was about to after listening to 1 Hot Minute again, but I think that is good where I have it. It'll go up higher. I think.
I mean, I know that
The color
One Hot
code
Minute's
will
not
tell
for
all.
everybody. It spoke to me because of my musical taste personally. That's all. And I know it's
Yeah.
not for everyone. I know it's not a great album, but I personally enjoyed it.
That's all that matters.
All right. Well, stick around. We're talking I'm With You. Another major shift in this band's lineup again. It'll be fun. So, like, subscribe,
That's what they say.
hit us up on your Patreon. We got some Patreon tiers where you get to pick an artist. We got to do the replacements for Trey. Shout out Trey, and then we got to do whatever the hell Hannah picked, Caravan Flyers or some shit. I don't know.
Caravan Palace.
y'all gotta make it rain like this up in the Patreon. Make it rain. Anyways,
Shit, Ed, where are you at? Sign up.
I am signed up. I'm subscribed.
That ain't the Patreon, no.
Oh.
Give me some money.
All right.
Money,
Be safe.
money.
Make good decisions.
Come to decide that the things that I tried were in